Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're looking at sources that honestly paint a fascinating but pretty terrifying picture. A society where your value is just your function.
Exactly. And where any deviation, any sense of real autonomy is seen as, well, a threat, a defect.
So our mission today is to really unpack this world, the world of the Ilum. We're diving into the control, the class system, the tech they use, and this fight for choice.
It's a really important deep dive, I think, because we're not just looking at, a standard dictatorship. This system is engineered. It's built for deep psychological compliance.
So the core conflict then.
It's exploring this place where everyone is just a cog assigned a specific use.
Yeah.
And if you deviate, you're flawed, fatally flawed, something to be managed or just removed.
Okay, let's set the stage. This society, it's strictly layered, 3 tiers, right? All controlled by the Ilum.
That's right. At the very top, you have the elite. They literally live above.
In those giant towers, piercing the clouds.
Yeah, exactly. It's symbolic, right?
Yeah.
Totally detached. They were bright colors, and they're obsessed with perfection, symmetry, beauty, anything that looks flawless.
And below them, on the ground level.
That's where you find the minor defects. People like Emeline, our protagonist, they have to wear gray. Emeline's is described as dingy gray.
Living on the surface or the ground, and what do they do?
Well, that's the interesting part. They perform tasks like sorting old art, relics, stuff in the archives. It's work that, honestly, their advanced technology could handle easily.
So why make them do it? Doesn't sound very efficient.
No, it's not about efficiency at all. It's psychological. It's about grinding them down.
Oh, so?
By forcing them into these, objectively meaningless tasks, the Ilum constantly reinforces that the miners are disposable. Their time, their effort. It means nothing unless they fit the mold, especially the procreation mandate.
Wow. So it's active degradation, systemic apathy, almost.
Exactly. Designed to just crush any hope they might have.
And if that doesn't work,
Yeah.
there's the bottom tier.
The major defects. They wear blue. They're banished to the underworld or Lowtown. Cast out of the Ilum's blessed light, as the sources put it.
That's the ultimate punishment, then, being cast down.
It is. And Lowtown, also called the Sanctuary, that's specifically where women end up if they fail their procreation contracts. It really underlines how value is tied only to fertility in this system.
And technology holds this all together. We absolutely have to talk about the mind chip.
Oh, yeah. The mind chip is, well, it's terrifying. It's surveillance and execution rolled into one.
Implanted in the wrist.
Yep. Tracks location, tracks fertility cycles, compliance levels, everything.
Yeah.
But it's more than just a tracker. It's the state's weapon.
The ultimate punishment you mentioned, elimination.
Carried out publicly. Through the chip itself, an instant sterile execution. It basically screams total state ownership over life itself.
Which brings us back to Emeline. She's a minor defect, sorting history, but she carries this very visible sign of being different.
Yeah, her defect is her eyes. Heterochromia, one blue, one brown.
In a world obsessed with matching perfection.
Exactly. Her eyes are this constant, unavoidable reminder that she's a flaw. And the conditioning runs so deep, she actually sees herself as just a vessel.
A vessel, meaning?
Meaning her only worth, her only path to self-improvement is producing an elite child. That's how ingrained it is. Her whole journey kicks off when her wrist device finally says, approved. She's fertile enough.
But even then, before she meets the elite world, they have to fix her flaw.
Right, the ritual with the starlings, Rose and Violet. They apply this lens device, and suddenly 2 brown irises, matching.
Erasing her identity before she even steps through the door.
It shows just how superficial the Ilum's idea of perfection really is.
So she meets her proposed mate, Collin, and he doesn't fit the mold she expected, does he?
Not at all. He's not the cold, distant elite she was trained for. He's the youngest member of the Ilum, which is weird in itself.
Youngest member, okay.
And he shows this. Kindness. Real unexpected kindness. He even apologizes for how her birth family treated her. Breaks little rules, like eating the fancy chocolate first.
Your kindness, I didn't expect it. She actually says that. But wait, he's also the enforcer, right? Isn't this kindness maybe calculated? A more subtle control?
That's a really sharp point.
Oh.
His duality is precisely what makes him so dangerous. He offers that personal touch, that connected...
Like holding absolute power.
Exactly. He's the enforcer. His wrist doesn't glow like the miners. He's outside their rules. And we see him use that power, threatening Emeline's own elite birth brother, Vincent.
And any doubt about his ruthlessness vanishes pretty quickly.
Almost immediately. He orchestrates that public execution. Christopher, a major defect. Killed via the mind chip. It's a cold display of power. It's about maintaining fear.
And it's not just the defects who are scared. The elite are too.
Oh, absolutely. You see it when Emeline's birth family talks about the Elimination Act.
That was the petition to just wipe out all defects, minor and major.
Yes. And the sources are clear. The only reason it didn't happen was practical. They needed a wider gene pool for procreation. Her brother Philip spells it out. So Collin's kindness is just a thin layer over pure systemic violence, pragmatic brutality.
Okay, so Collin is the Ilum's future. Pragmatic, brutal, but there's a counterforce. How?
How? Yes. The major defect in the blue jumpsuit. He's the total opposite.
The Reaper, leader of the rebellion.
Right. And his biggest act of defiance, he removed his own mind chip, physically rejected their control, their surveillance. He's described as having this rugged beauty connected to the ground, not the clouds.
And he connects with Emeline over the very history the Ilum tries to bury, the art.
Yeah, that's a key moment. They talk about pieces like Eternity's Gate, The Man in Pain, and Famo Corsetta's en Olive, the woman reading. Hal finds meaning resilience in the past.
And he shows her the reality of the major defects is different from the propaganda.
Completely different. He reveals the underworld isn't just desolate Lowtown. It's hidden, yeah, but it's vibrant. There's music, dancing, a real culture. He offers her a way out, a choice, something completely outside the Ilum system.
But the Ilum's control.
Yeah.
It keeps tightening. New layers are revealed, like the drugging.
Ah, the drugging program. That's a brutal discovery. Emeline finds out the miners on their transport pods are being drugged through their supplements to keep them docile, blank-faced.
Chemical control on top of everything else. How does she find out?
Through her own tech. Her HI system, that internal monitor, explicitly tells her supplements were changed to calm her right after she saw Christopher's execution. The system that tracks her confirms the state is drugging her.
Wow. The system admits it. And it's not just chemical control, is it? They destroy trust, too.
Yes. The betrayal by Lola, Emeline's friend.
How does that come out?
Tabitha, a high-ranking Ilum official, just tells her, reveals Lo was an informant. And crucially, the source gives Lo's code, F174434485. Not even her name.
Dehumanizing.
Totally. Lo traded betraying Emeline for procreation contract, for cohabitation rights. It shows how the Ilum incentivized betrayal, pit minors against each other just to survive.
And then Tabitha drops the biggest bombshell about Emeline herself, her actual purpose.
Emeline was basically high-level propaganda. A sacrificial lamb.
Sacrificial lamb? How?
Tabitha explains it. Emeline's visible defect combined with her getting an Ilum contract. It was all calculated. It scared the elites. You can see, even a defect can rise, so don't step out of line. And gave false hope to the miners. Look, upward mobility is possible, so stay compliant.
So her entire struggle, her hope, it was manufactured by the Ilum.
Her existence was weaponized for the greater good of Ilum stability. Utterly cynical.
Which leads us to the climax. The major defects make their move trying to disable the chip power grid, and Emeline, she picks a side.
She does. She risks everything. Climbs through hidden passages, maintenance chutes, helps a major named Gerald execute the plan. She actively aids the rebellion.
And the Ilum's response is swift and cruel.
Brutally effective. At this mandatory elite ball, Tabitha takes center stage, announces they've captured the Reaper. How?
Okay, so they got him.
But that's not the worst part. Tabitha lies. Publicly. She says Emeline provided the intelligence that led to Hal's capture.
No. Why?
Psychological warfare. It destroys Emeline's reputation instantly with everyone. The Ilum see her as useful, then discarded. The rebellion sees her as a traitor. She's left completely isolated, ruined to the core, as the source says.
That's devastating. They didn't just capture Hal. They used Emeline to discredit the entire resistance and break her spirit.
Exactly. It proves their main focus isn't just physical control, it's psychological domination. Breaking hope is as important as breaking bodies.
And then the final turn of the screw, the most chilling act.
The seizure of the children. Tabitha reveals the elite force raided the ground and took all the major defect offspring.
Took the children.
Yes, it confirms their control is absolute. Life, death, family, the future. They control indoctrination itself. They're cutting off the rebellion's next generation.
So the story leaves Emeline completely compromised. Poisoned, literally, by Tabitha with alcohol and tea. No longer useful. Trapped.
Trapped between Collin, the ruthless enforcer she was supposed to mate with, and Hal, the passionate revolutionary she tried to help, who's now captured.
The defect who just wanted a choice becomes a pawn in everyone's game. used and betrayed.
It's a harsh outcome for her seeking autonomy.
But it's not quite the end, is it? The sources leave us with Hal. Captured, yes. Broken, maybe. But defiant.
Right, he knows they've broken before, but he says, this was a revolution. I would upend everything. Their buildings and the clouds would crumble. The belief is still there.
That knowledge he shared with Emeline about the vibrant underworld, the possibility of something different that's out there now.
Exactly. The leader might be confined, but the idea he sparked, that knowledge of a different way to live, that persists in the minds of the people.
So, where does that leave this world? And this is the question for you, listening. When a revolution starts from the very bottom, aimed at those towers in the clouds, does the dream die when the leader is broken and captured?
Or could it be that confining the figurehead only makes the revolutionary idea spread further, faster, maybe even more powerfully? What happens next?